Hi there. So welcome and let's get started. A little bit of introduction to job development for you if you don't know what it is conceptually. First of all, I'm going to say that I'm recording this as for my clients that I'm going to be working with. If we're working with you, that's great. I'm very excited to have you on board. But this video course will be also helpful for those who are clients of JBS Toronto, but are working with other job developers. But I will be operating from the presupposition that you are my client, right? So, uh, yeah, introduction to job development. What is a job developer? As I said, my function is to be a connector between the clients of JBS and the companies, right? Please understand, I'm not a recruiter. I'm not going to be hunting jobs specifically for you if you hire me, right? So it's a little bit a different kind of service that we provide. My job is to be an assistant in your job search activities. So, with that being said, the more you do, the more I can do, the more everyone can do, including like all our team, like employment counselors, for example. So we think of us really as a support systems, as a magnifying glass to your own efforts. So, what is job development? Job development conceptually is very, very simple. So, you submit your resume online, your resume gets into ATS and sit within the company. It's lost somewhere in this big stack of resumes on the table of an HR, right? And this is when a job developer steps in. We call them, we present ourselves, present the company, and we say, hey, right now we're working with a very motivated individual. Please take a look at his or her profile, right? And we basically get attention to your specific profile. This is how your resume gets on top, right? Right in front of the eyes of the HR or the hiring manager. If we succeed, if the resume is indeed a solid fit for the job description that we put out there, if we do our job well, then you get an interview, right? And then whatever happens in the room, it's on you. So, as I said, conceptually, job development is super straightforward. So every time when clients come in, they ask, okay, what can you do for me as a job developer? So what can a job developer do for you? Number one, we are job coaches. Right? We will, and this is what I want to focus in my sessions. This is the reason why I created this video course. I want to focus on coaching side. All the like starting from mental blocks, like what stops you from being effective, up to like utilizing all the strategies for effective job search. Again, in a very effective manner, right? It is ongoing support. It is very important for someone out there to be a cheerleader in your corner, and so that you can kind of talk through all the things. Um, like all clients will tell you that it's very important to have some kind of a mirror to talk to, and this is what we do. We identify job leads, right? Once we understand like what kind of profiles you're looking for, like the more you apply for jobs and send us leads, we're looking at the job descriptions that you send to us. We understand what kind of professional you are, what are your targets, and we can find jobs that are similar to that and send them to you, send those opportunities to you. We follow up on the job list generated by you. Again, you should be the one who is applying for jobs. You're the best expert on yourself, on your skills, qualifications, but also on your interest and targets, which is more important. So once you tell us what kind of jobs you've applied to, right, we can follow up and ask what happened. Even when you already had an interview with the company, something went wrong, we can still follow up. We can ask if there is any feedback for us that we can utilize in order to improve and go ahead. Now, building relationship with employers, that's the huge one. This is what we do. We are relationship builders, right? We're building, again, building rapport, building communication with them. And this is our objective as job developers is also to build a long, sustainable relationship. We negotiate with them opportunities, we secure them, we coordinate interviews. Some employers like are too busy to coordinate interviews, and this is what we do for them, right? We advocate on your behalf. So basically, this is where like kind of our sales skills come in. We are selling, and what do I mean by selling, right? All people have different relationship with the word sales. But for me personally, sales is an ability to create an opinion, right? And it's a very powerful thing to do, right? It's a very powerful ability. I would suggest think of it this way, right? always strive to increase your own sales skills if you can. Now, lastly, using training incentive program is very, very simple. If the client qualifies and if the employer qualifies, there are certain conditions for eligibility. But if both parties qualify, we can look into training incentive. Basically, what it is, it's for the probation period. We can reimburse a certain percentage of the wage. Let's say the employer hires a client of JVS, and and they say that they're paying like $20 an hour, right? We will be able to reimburse them $5 to $10 for the probation period, which is usually about 2 to 3 months. So this is how training incentive works, really. And yeah, for us as job developers, it can be a leverage in negotiation for you as well as a client if there is such a possibility to tap into this resource. Like you need to negotiate it with your job developer, but basically if you feel like that you are about to get hired but there's some hesitation on their side, you can say I'm working with JVS Toronto, I'm working with the job developer, and you just connect us and we do the negotiation. Now please understand the process, right? to to be effective, right? Job development, as I mentioned, is the last step in the process. In order to work effectively with the job developer, all the preparation work has to be done. First of all the education elements, the workshops that JVS Toronto offers. Work with your employment counselor. Like again, uh, if you're going traditional path and applying and submitting your resumes online, your resume is your marketing material. The sole purpose of which is to sell you, right? So it should be polished to perfection. So work with your employment counselor. Same thing. We create the opportunity for an interview for you to get into the room. But once you're in the room, it's on you. So interview skills should be polished. Again, your employment counselor would be the best person for you to kind of practice this interview skills. Right? Job developers, they need to focus on job development. And yeah, everything that you will see next is about how to work with job developer effectively and how to utilize the toolbox that we have for your own job search. With that being said, oops, what happened? Okay, sorry. We're going to talk in the next video about important concepts, right? 4 important concepts, very, very straightforward, but we need to get it sorted before we proceed. So I'll see you in the next video.